You can mute me. Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Concordia University's Fourth Space. And thank you for joining us for today's event, Global Learning Day. And to help situate you, we are streaming to YouTube, and we are streaming to YouTube live from Fourth Space, and we are located here on unceded Indigenous lands in Tiohtià:ke, Montreal. Here at Fourth Space, we work with our university community to help mobilize knowledge, co-creating daily activities, examine research, questions and projects and things in development across the university. And we're running today's event as a live stream Zoom meeting. So anyone joining us there via Zoom, if you have any comments or questions, just pop them into the chat. We'll have time for a bit of a Q&A at the end. And for those of you here in the space also, same thing. If you have a question, just raise your hand. We'll bring a microphone over to you. Okay. With that, it's very much my pleasure to pass it over for introduction today from Associate Vice President, International Relations and Chief of Staff, William Cheeb. William, welcome back.
Thank you, Doug, and thank you, everyone. Bonjour à toutes et à tous. Welcome, and welcome to also everyone who's joining us online. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to the Global Learning Day. This event showcases the many global opportunities that Concordia offers to its students. Now, if you are here or if you are online or watching this video later, it's most probably because you are curious about traveling or discovering the world, learning a new language, getting new friends, and exploring new culture. Good news, you are in the right place. But with hundreds of partners around the world, short programs, full-term programs, international internships, field schools, conferences, scholarships, bursaries, the opportunities abound. You will also be making the right choice. Discovering the world is actually one of the most exciting experiences. But let's look also at some numbers. In average, and this is global average, 97% of students with global education experience found jobs right after their graduations versus 49% of their fellows. So it increases opportunities to find relevant working opportunities. Another number, students with global experience earn 17% more in their jobs than their fellows without such an experience. Interesting too. And another number, 96% of students with global education experience reported in self-confidence after completing their international programs. Not bad either. But not everything is easy. And that's why you have Concordia International office to go to. And with a truly wonderfully dedicated team, they even helped me prepare my speaking notes today. I'll name them and ask those that are here to stand up. First, Christine Archer. Pauliina Rouleau. Maral, Abajian. Suzanne, Kaye. Vanessa, Afonso. Julio Sevilla. And our wonderful Caroline Eastwood, who's really the champion behind this event and the help in making this happen. Thank you all, really. For you now who are online or are here with us today, the team here is here to help you. And you will hear from them during the day. Please give them, again, a great hand of applause. Associated with Concordia International too, and playing a great role, just sitting behind me. How Kaye also, who's the lead for Concordia Africa Initiative too. Yeah. As I said, if you are here, it's because you are already interested in exploring the world, and that is great. But I would ask you to speak to your classmates and to your friends about these opportunities. You are all on social media too, so I would encourage you to follow Concordia International and tag us for further promotion of the programs. This is not to help us, but it's also to help students discover these opportunities too. So I would really appreciate that. And with that, we are ready to start with our panels. And before I introduce the first panel, I would also like to thank the team of the Fourth Space. Doug, Jackie, Bertie, thank you so much for your help. And now to introduce today's panel about internationalizing your Concordia degree. Our panelists are Concordia students who have conducted research or studied abroad with their program, as I just mentioned. The first student is Murad Nusrati Habibi. Hi, Murad. Murad is a Master's of Applied Science student in Civil Engineering. He received the MITAX Global Linked Research Award to conduct a 3-month research internship at the Technical University of Berlin, where he collaborated with a team of PhD students and postdocs on research related to water distribution networks. At Concordia, Murad is part of a research group led by Dr. Rebecca Jijic, working on innovative projects in water infrastructure management. Second is Ariel Barton. Ariel is an undergraduate sociology student during a semester abroad at the University of the West Indies in Trinidad and Tobago. She completed courses at the Department of Creative and Festival Arts, studying ethnomusicology with a focus on Caribbean and world music, and taking a performance course in Indian classical music. Third, Christian North is a fine arts graduate student. During his BFA in electroacoustic studies, he participated in the field school program in Bogota, Colombia, with Dr. Ricardo Del Ferra, who's with us today. Thank you, Ricardo, for being here today. This opportunity for Christian led him to 2 subsequent invitations to present at academic conferences in Latin America. Fourth is Penelope Brunel, is an undergraduate student majoring in sociology with a minor in sustainability studies. She spent a summer abroad in Sweden at the University of Gothenburg Summer School for Sustainability, where she studied challenges surrounding migration and integration in a European context, with a focus on art-based methods of research. Last but not least is the moderator for this panel, Hawa Keita, who I introduced before, the lead for the Africa Initiative. And Hawa is also a proud graduate of Concordia. And while studying, after studying, also she participated in international programs, including that she led the SEED program for Concordia in Uganda before joining Concordia International team. Over to you, Hawa, and thank you all.
Good morning, everyone. Bonjour. Thank you so much, William, for the great introduction, and everyone behind the camera for organizing this event. So as William mentioned, my name is Hawa, and I'm a very proud Concordia alum, and I currently work at the Concordia International office as the lead of the Africa Initiative. So today we are here for, a panel discussion in order to understand about, how some students have actually been able to internationalize their degree. So we have seen the data show it. There are benefits in internationalizing your degree, but also personally, I'm sure personal development, and also I would say we talked about interesting and fun experience. So we look forward to learn more about your experience and how did you internationalize your degree. So I would like first, we already had a form of introduction and know about your background, so what you studied and where did you go. But could you please briefly mention, how did you internationalize your degree? Morad first.
Hi, everyone. My name is Murad Nosrati, and I'm very happy to be here, and thank you for inviting me. I'm doing my Master of Applied Science here at Concordia University, and I am team member of the PhD students working on water infrastructure management, and I am personally working on leakage detection in water networks, and this is my research. And after 1 year researching in this topic here, my supervisor suggested me to do an international experience, to collaborate with a team in Technical University Berlin named Smart Water Networks. And this team was led by Dr. Andre Cominola. And we started collaborating with them with writing this proposal and then start researching. And then I went there. It was a great experience to join their team. They have a PhD postdoc students there, and I started learning from them, the people who have experience in this kind of topics. And it was a very good experience for me. And after that, I came back. I am sure that there will be outputs for that internship. And it was a really good experience. I highly recommend everyone to do something similar.
Amazing. Thank you. Yes, I know.
Hi. So I'm Penelope. I'm currently finishing my bachelor's program in sociology and sustainability studies. And this summer, I was able to participate in a program called the Summer School for Sustainability at the University of Gothenburg in Sweden. So I spent 5 weeks there this summer, and it was an international program. So I was with a bunch of international students. And we were all taking different courses. There were 5 different courses. I was doing one focused on migration studies, which was very interesting because it's not something that I touched a lot on during my studies here. And yeah, it was a very enriching experience culturally and academically speaking. And I would recommend anyone who's thinking of going to Sweden to go because it's a cool country. So yeah.
Hi, I'm Christian North. I'm doing an interdisciplinary research master's at Concordia now, but I studied electroacoustics for my BFA, also at Concordia, with Dr. Ricardo Dalfara, and I participated in the field school in Bogota, Colombia, and yeah, it was a great experience. I'll talk more about that in the coming questions.
Yes, thank you.
Hi, my name's Ariel. I'm a sociology student at Concordia, and I did my elective courses at the University of the West Indies in Trinidad and Tobago. And I was really lucky because I hadn't done any music at Concordia before, but since I was able to only do electives at the University of the West Indies, I was able to choose whatever I wanted. So I chose music courses like Indian classical, Introduction to World Music, and Caribbean musics. And it was a wonderful experience for anyone who's thinking of going to Trinidad. It was a really beautiful time culturally and academically. So I would definitely recommend to anyone.
Okay, so I see that the recommendation rate is 100%. That's great. So yes, now my question goes to Penelope. So you've mentioned that yes, you would recommend to internationalize your degree. If you can please explain us why did you decide to internationalize your degree, and what were your expectations from it?
So at first I did not think I was gonna do an exchange program during my bachelor's because I was kind of stuck with like a 1-year program. And so it was not, I wanted to do it, but I couldn't because of that program. But then I received this email from my academic advisor that promoted this program in Gothenburg specifically. So I was curious to learn more about it, went on the website and saw that I was perfectly eligible for the program. It fit perfectly in for my minor, like the course I would take there would count for my credits here, which was beneficial. I could also apply for a scholarship. So I was like, why not free summer abroad? And yeah, my expectations, I don't think I had a lot. I really wanted to discover Sweden and Scandinavia like more globally. I think my expectations was that, you know, from outside it kind of seems like futuristic sustainability wise there. So it's very like linked to my studies. So I was expecting to learn a lot there and to learn also from a European point of view, because we learn sustainability here from an American point of view, which is very different. So yeah, I was expecting to learn more. And also I was expecting to have 5 weeks of like exploring the country, very like experimental, because it was very short. I thought it would be cool to just go for 5 weeks, explore, meet people, just be myself there, and it was super cool. And yeah, that's
Okay.
it.
Oh, well, love it for you.
Thank
And
you.
yes, and so I'm going to now for Murad. So Murad, you know, when we talk about internationalizing your degree, everyone talks about like exchange program, but there's actually way more than that. You went into, you know, a research program. So my question for you is, you know, what interested you to do international research? And, you know, like what were the benefits that you saw in it?
For my case, for sure, it's different than others. I'm doing my grads here, I think graduate studies, and we have only 2 years here. So in the 2 years, it's much difficult to have 3-4 months in abroad. And I decided to do it because when we are researching in some specific field, it's difficult to find people who are has a specialty in that area. So the reason why I choose this team and I went to that was that the people there were very good in this topic. They were researching about this topic for many years, so it was much better for me to go and learn from their experience, which I can't do it when I'm here at Canada. I can do it online. I ask questions, but it's not the thing. So I choose to do that, and I think it will be much better to go and network with people who are top in the field, so we can learn many things through the networking with these kind of people. And even though it's like short time, like 3 months, but they can help you a lot in learning many new things and how we should look at the problems, what we should research. And because of these things, I choose to go and collaborate with the team.
Yes, and also it's all about like, you know, human interactions. Online cannot necessarily
Yes,
develop
exactly.
that. Okay, that's great. Any addition to what was said before? Okay, so now I would like to go in West Indies with Ariel. And I really like the fact that you've mentioned that you did something that is different from your major, but you were able to actually have something in your electives and do what you liked. So it is great that it's also like a diverse destination. Like most students, when they're talking about exchange program, it's often going to be, for example, in Europe or, you know, like countries like Australia, but you decided to go to West Indies. And I would like to know from you, you know, like any misconceptions that student might have. So because you did something very different from your major, for example, or you went into, you know, Trinidad and Tobago, which is not necessarily the most known destination. So like, how did you, you know, decide to go into something different than the majority of students, and like, what interested you about it? And like, why did you decide to really do something that is like catered to you? Yeah.
So I knew that because I had electives to
Yeah.
take, like the only things I had to do to complete my degree were electives. So I could pretty much go anywhere. And also I had a smaller budget. So since it's like the exchange rate is a lot lower, I was able to live there very comfortably at the school residence, and didn't have any issues. Some misconceptions would be, I think, like a lot of people were worried because of the crime and stuff like that. But at the same time, if you're going to a country where it's more dangerous, I would say that that's the best way to travel would be through the university, because you have access to any services that like someone who would just travel you know, for leisure or for fun, that wouldn't have. You know, like I was able to stay at the residence, the school residence that was on campus, completely secure. And you're also able to meet students that are just like you know, either traveling from, like, for example, most of the students that I was meeting, can everybody hear me properly? Okay. Most of the students I was meeting, were from other countries in the Caribbean, in Trinidad as well, but also international students from France, Germany, the Netherlands, even Ghana. So, you know, everybody was there for common goal. It's a university setting. So, and it's also because the country has a bad reputation for like the danger, I guess. Everybody is like the community aspect, the student community aspect is way stronger. Everybody has each other's backs and wants everybody to be safe. So yeah, I would say don't hesitate. I was obviously a little bit scared in the beginning because everybody's like, oh, why don't you go to somewhere safer? But I don't regret it at all. I was completely safe. I did not have any bad experiences there.
That's great. And I like that, when you're internationalized your degree, you are, removing certain stereotypes that we might have about destinations. Like we tend to have a certain image of a region or a whole country, but as you are experiencing it, you actually, change the perspective that we might have. And it's good as well that you emphasize the aspect of community. So yes, definitely, like if you're going for either an exchange program or an internationalized degree in any way, you're not alone. There is a whole community behind you. So thank you so much about that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any complimentary comments so far? If you want to add one. No, okay.
I am quite interested in the in your West Indies experience, though.
Nice, great. Okay, I'm going now in a bit more practical question. So it's now again to Morad. We talk about like one of the biggest barriers that people have is about funding. So like going abroad is not necessarily accessible to everyone, but actually it might be a bit more accessible than what we might think. There are like different opportunities available. So I would like to know from you, Morad, because you are also a MyTax fellow. So how did you, first of all, know about it? Like how did that support you to, make this, interesting program in Germany?
About the finance, yes, this is a big issue, and specifically when you're going to the big cities like the Berlin, which we know it's expensive, we should consider that, but it's better to look for it before deciding not to do it. Before applying for this position, I didn't know about that, but my supervisor just let me know. And after that, I looked and we saw that, okay, there is a program named Global Link MyTax Research Reward, which you can apply for it and they can support you for your research, and it's very good. And other than that, I also had a chance to get funding from the Quebec government, which was also good for me. And for the graduate students specifically, we have a fundings from university for our research. This is another thing that is helping us. But other than that, we need to plan for it. And when we have a good planning, I think it's possible to make it, even if it's Berlin, an expensive city. We have some issues for housing, for example, because it's really expensive there. But at the end, we will find solutions for those. And I found it. And I think everyone can do that.
That's great. So no one is left out in it. And I would like to know if anyone also received any support. And if ever you are an international student as well, please do not hesitate to mention it. Because I can say, for example, I was an international student and I assumed that, oh, because I'm an international student, I might not necessarily have these, support, but it might not necessarily be true.
I was also an international student and I got all the support.
Yes, good to know. Thank you. Yes.
Same for me. I'm an international student here in Canada, and I was able to get Quebec funding to go to Sweden. So that was very nice. And yeah.
Thank you. Yes. You wanted to add something?
Sure. I also received funding to go to Colombia, but I am a Canadian citizen.
All right. So it's for everyone, I guess. So good to know. Thank you so much. Yes, you want to add?
Same here.
Same here. Okay, good. Yeah. So I'm sure like if you're in person, you will also have the occasion to meet our colleagues that have way more information about this program if you're interested. Okay. So now my question goes to Christian. Christian, how did this, international, like how your internationalization of your degree impacted your pathway, either academic or care-wise, and how did it, change your perspective about your future?
Yeah, so the Bogota Field School was kind of like a turning point in my academic career, I guess. Yeah. Maybe different from all of your experiences. It's more like, from my perspective, was like a introduction to participating in something like an academic conference, both presenting and attending. And yeah, it went really well for me. I learned so much during this 10 days. It was also kind of an introduction to like interdisciplinary studies, basically. And now I'm doing a master's degree in interdisciplinary studies, basically. So yeah, and so subsequently, after going to the Bogota Field School, I made connections there, and I was invited back to speak at 2 conferences in Latin America, including returning to Bogota for the a festival de l'Imagine, which is closely associated with the Bogota Field School. So yeah, it was a really great experience for the future of my academic career, or whatever the question was.
Yes, that's awesome. I love to see this. Like, anyone wants to add also their stories? How did your exchange program or your internationalization help you, afford you for your?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Like I said, it was the first time that I'd studied music in like an academic setting. So it was an introduction for me, and also it made me realize that it wasn't as scary. Like, I think that because you're abroad, you can do things that you wouldn't normally do at home, and then then you bring all of that back with you. So I would say for anyone who is looking to do different things, like go study abroad, and don't be shy to do things like that, like taking courses that you wouldn't normally at home. Like, that's why I would recommend, if you have the opportunity to take a couple electives abroad, to do so, because it's completely different than electives at Concordia, let's say.
That's great. Thank you so much. My question now goes to everyone. So we know that we have an office. Oh, sorry, you wanted to add something? Okay. So, we have Concordia International. So if you did not do your internationalization out of nowhere, and I'm sure you had like some form of support to get ready. If you ever can explain, beside, yes, you can talk about finance if you want, but also beside the financial part, like how did you get support to arrive to that point? Whoever wants to start. Okay. Sorry. Yes.
About the support, other than the finance part, I can say that here at Concordia University, we have a good support from the people like Caroline, because before leaving, it was really good to have a session with her, and it was also very useful. And nowadays, because of the internet, everyone can Google everything that they want to know, and it's just taking the risk. If you want to have an adventure in learning new things, living in abroad, and meet new people, meet new systems, because systems in other countries are completely different than how it works here. The group that I was working there was doing the same thing that we are doing here, but their approaches are completely different, and we can just look for it, and then we will find this solution. It's just taking the risk, and if you want to do it, you will do it. And here at Concordia, I think we have enough support from international office.
And that's good to hear. Thank you.
Yeah, I think one of the first resources, just your academic advisor. Like, she helped me a lot prepare like all the papers I needed to apply, and then even during, after, the international office was a lot of help too. Then I remember we had a pre-departure session on the Concordia side, who gave us like advice, like all the admin stuff that we needed to prepare. But also I remember there was one slide about like the stages that we were going to go through during the exchange. And I think that's really important, because we don't necessarily think about how we're going to feel there. But of course, there's everything about the cultural shock and how you're going to feel, sometimes alone or a little sad, but it's kind of up and down. But since it's like for a short period of time, it's still a good experience. And I really love that they briefed us on that, as well as all of the academic stuff. Then on the University of Gothenburg side, I also had a pre-departure like Zoom session where they introduced us with everything we needed to know. There was a website dedicated to the program specifically, again, with all the resources we needed to have and know about. And then they also created a Discord channel for the program, and there were like two two girls that were like organizing everything. They were like ambassadors, and they gave us again even more information because once we were there, we also had a bunch of activities planned out for us to do apart from classes. So that helped a lot, and we got to know each other before we arrived on the Discord channel with all the other students. So that was pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so first of all, Ricardo Del Fara and Concordia International were incredibly informative when I was thinking about going to participate in this field school, and they're very helpful through this process of whatever you might need, questions you have. But also the university in Bogota, University Tadeo Lozano, I think, was incredibly welcoming, and there's lots of people there that I'm still in touch with now, and they were very helpful upon my arrival and helped me to navigate the city and everything else. So yeah.
Similar to what everyone was saying, I also was connected with other students. Well, one other student that was going to the same school as me, which was really helpful because at least, there was one person that I could chat with, similar academic background and everything, that was going to the same destination. And yeah, so we had the student meetings, and not student meetings, like meetings where other international students were able to connect with each other and, talk about the destinations that we were going to. So that was helpful. Definitely didn't feel alone, felt like there was a bigger community as well. And similar to what you said as well, when I arrived at the university, there were so many like initiations and welcome activities for international students, like from everywhere, to connect with students from the university. So it was like I felt completely welcomed. And like you said as well, Concordia had told us about the different stages that we were going to go through during our semester abroad, which I felt all of those. And especially the last one, when you guys said that, at some point when you come back, people are going to be fed up of hearing about your experience. So I felt that too, but it was cool to know that all those things were going to happen before, during, and after our experience. So overall, community aspect and, feeling prepared, I felt completely prepared. I have no complaints. So.
Amazing. I love it. So two things I get from what you said. One, do your research. Do not give up or like stop because you have certain barriers. So do your research. And two, you are not alone, right? So there's a whole support system. So thank you so much for, expressing this. And also like shout out to the Concordia International team. So congrats. And before we're going to the questions in the audience, because I'm sure, some of you might have questions. You mentioned all that you would recommend, to internationalize your degree. One thing I would like to know from you, what did you learn out of this? So culturally speaking, as a human being and even professionally.
As I mentioned, everything was different there. So when I went there, I didn't expect those things. So I start learning how things are happening there in Berlin and their team. So I decided to learn, but it's not something that we want to choose for whole life. We learn there and then we come back and then we choose that, okay, this behavior is good or this system is better than the other. So we improve ourselves. So our skills are improved, our studies will be better, and all things will be much better after having experience like living abroad for a month or 2 months or something like this.
So you would recommend it?
Highly recommended.
Yes. Okay. Highly recommended. Great.
I think on a personal side, what I learned is that wherever I go, like you'll survive, even if you're alone, because you're never really alone. Like people around you are gonna be nice, and even if you don't have like your best friend on your side, you'll be fine. And it's really good for self-growth. Like I would recommend that is you kind of have like the opportunity, because it's like short-term periods, you have the opportunity to just be yourself and really learn about yourself. And even if it sounds cliche, it's very true. So that's nice. And on the academic side, in my personal experience, it really like I really regained confidence academically. The way they taught there in Sweden was very like less pressure on grades and more on like activities, seminars, and building yourself as a student. And that was really interesting. So that's what I learned. Like even what I learned concretely, I learned that I could also like be a good student and like expand my creativity, and that was very, very nice. So I would 100% recommend anyone that's thinking. And also I wanted to add for the community, like I know a lot of people say when they talk about going on exchange, like my friends that were going there, one thing that always comes up is, oh, I'm scared that I'm not going to make friends there. And I mean, we've said it a bunch of times, but like really shouldn't be your what like you shouldn't be worried about that, because every single university around the world, they have like a whole system put in place for exchange students. We don't see it here at Concordia because we're not exchange students here, but even at Concordia, there's a whole system for people that arrive here, and like for their events, activities, everything. So even if you don't have friends, you're gonna meet people, and so please like don't decide not to go on an exchange because you're scared of that, because that would be a big mistake. And yeah.
Yeah, I had all sorts of personal growth from visiting Colombia. I was obsessed with Colombia upon returning to Canada and talked to everyone about it. At an academic level, I think that the field school was really a great early opportunity to be introduced to the benefits of working in an interdisciplinary environment, basically. So it was my first real, coming from my specific field of electroacoustic studies, it was my first real introduction to what that can look like, interacting in an interdisciplinary way, and sort of the learning and growth that can happen in a really short period of time from working that way. So, yeah.
Thanks. You would recommend it?
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, I would highly recommend doing an internationalizing your degree, because firstly, I'm not going to repeat everything that everyone said because I agree, but also when you're internationalizing your degree, you're also internationalizing your network, and like every person that I've met on my semester abroad, I'm still in contact with. So that's a great plus. You meet people from all around the world. And also something that I learned was, if you search for opportunities, there are opportunities wherever you go. Like if you search for them, you can get those opportunities, which was like a light that clicked in my head, because sometimes we're afraid of searching for those opportunities. We think we're not going to get them, but if you put yourself in those situations and you look for those opportunities, you could get them. Especially we're lucky, we're university students. And like everyone else said, the community building and support for university students wherever you go is huge. So yes, I would definitely suggest and push anyone who wants to go do a semester abroad or internationalize their degree to do it.
Amazing. Thank you so much. You are really good panelists, and like I love the the experience that you've mentioned. And yes, one, you're not alone. And I also want to add something. After getting your degree, internationalizing yourself, and with such a strong support system, and also with the time, you might not necessarily have that all the time. So like it's a very good momentum to use. So now we'll go to the audience. If ever anyone has a question, please do not be shy.
I'll also invite everyone joining us on Zoom. If you have any questions, put them in the chat. We'll read them out. Those of you in the space, we'll bring a mic over to you. Here's a question.
Yes.
Hello, thank you for the panel. Obviously, when you go on exchange, there's a bit of a selection process to like get selected, and there's like minimum requirements like for your GPA. Is there anything else you guys did to make yourself stand out and like better your chances to get chosen to go on exchange?
For me, I think for sociology and like political science, it was pretty low. I think it was 2.7. So I didn't have to do anything else, but I would just say be on time and like submit all the forms on time, you know, because like I was talking to you about it when I was nervous about getting accepted. The university wants you to do your exchange, you know, they don't want to hold you back. So as long as you're on time and you show that it's important to you, I think that you have a great chance. I don't think they're also like, depends on the university you're going to. My university wasn't that strict when it comes to GPA, especially again, my program. So it depends on which program you're studying in.
I had to write a personal statement to go to Gothenburg. And so what I did is that I wrote like a first draft, and then I went to my academic advisor and we went through it together to make it shiny. So I would recommend you doing that as well if you really want to stand out. And as you said, be on time, like show that you're dedicated and there shouldn't be any reason why you couldn't go. So yeah.
Yeah, similarly, I had to write, I think, a letter of intent. So everybody's very available to you. You can just ask them what they expect from you in that letter of intent.
Yeah, thank you. Any other question in the audience? No? Okay, so silence talk for itself. Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure to have this conversation with you. So right now, I mean, the Global Learning Day is now over. We are very, very happy to have the whole team of Concordia International. So right now, I'm going to introduce my colleague, Christine, who will also have a discussion about how to internationalize your degree. And if ever you have any question, for sure, we are online, but also see the team is here. So thank you so much.
Excuse me. Welcome. I'm glad to see there are some people, and those of you that are, well, those are my colleagues, so come have a seat. My name is Christine Archer, as I was introduced earlier. I'm one of the international liaison officers at Concordia International that oversees the exchange program, specifically and partnerships at Concordia for the areas of Asia, Americas, Oceania, and United Kingdom. So I was Ariel's ILO International Liaison Officer for her exchange at Trinidad and Tobago, which happens to be a country my father's from, and where I lived for 5 years. So I'm happy to hear that you had a great experience there. So Concordia International is the office that sort of organizes all of these programs that these lovely individuals have participated in, including the funding opportunities, et cetera, et cetera. So we just basically provide students, but also faculty and our partner universities as well, partner universities and partner organizations with rich international opportunities to enhance their studies, research, and to work through innovative global experiences. Of course, we just heard from the group of panelists about the different programs that they've participated in, but these are some of the things that Concordia International does. So we provide international funding opportunities. We also, of course, are a network of international partners and contacts. So aside from universities, there are other contacts that we have as well. Some of them might be organizations, funding organizations, other types of organizations, research organizations. We host international delegations as well. This seems to be the last 2 weeks have been a host of international delegations visiting us. We also raise Concordia's international visibility by all of these programs that we offer. We assist with immigration process for academic visitors. We have a person dedicated to helping what we call academic visitors with their immigration processes. We provide short-term international summer programs, such as the one that Penelope participated in. And we also obviously have international exchange programs. So some of the things that you get out of internationalizing your degree, and like I said, we already heard from the panelists what they got out of it, but some of the things, there are course, cultural awareness. It also provides real world out of classroom formative learning experience. So the field schools, for example, provide those kind of opportunities. You have share or access to complementary skills, such as Ariel had mentioned, and also I think Murad had also mentioned it as well. Access to foreign or joint facilities and equipment. So for example, Christian, you know, when he was on his field school in Bogota, I'm sure you had access to a lot of sort of like facilities and things that you normally wouldn't have access to, or perhaps may not have access to at Concordia. It increases your knowledge capacity. You also have access to unique sites and populations, and it increased independence and self-reliance. And obviously, I think somebody had also mentioned, it also increases your self-confidence. So these are all positive things. And specifically speaking at Concordia International, these are the programs that we offer. My colleague Pauliina will go into them a little more details, but the Student Exchange Program, which is the program that Ariel participated in, the Summer Schools Abroad is the program that Penelope had participated in, faculty-led field schools, such as Christian, funding for study and research abroad, and then the research abroad, MyTax Global Research Award, which is what Murad had participated in. So these are the sort of the core programs that we offer. And like I said, my colleague Pauliina Rouleau will go into a little more details on how these work. Pauliina?
Thank you, Christine. So I'm going to introduce you the different types of programs that we offer and give you a little bit more details. And then you can come and see us afterwards, after the information, this presentation is finished. We'll have the student fair part where you are welcome to talk with our team. And we also have faculty advisors from Arts and Science and JMSB with us. So if you have academic questions, they are here to answer them as well. So the student exchange program is a semester program. You can go for 1 semester or 2 as part of your degree. And you have actually opportunity to go to one of the more than 180 partner schools in around 35 countries. So there are a lot of destinations to choose from. The idea of exchange is that you actually earn credits towards your degree. So you will take minimum, as an undergraduate, minimum 12 credits, between 12 and 15 credits during the semester. And those credits will count towards your degree either as electives or your core courses or towards your minor. So it does not delay your graduation. It really counts towards your degree. And you will be paying your usual Concordia tuition fee. So instead of paying international tuition fees at the host destination, you'll be paying your tuition fees as if you were at Concordia. You'll be remaining registered here. And this program is also funded by the Quebec Mobility Bursary. And the application is actually included in the exchange application, so you don't have to apply for it separately. Currently, we are able to fund all exchange students who are eligible to leave, and we give $3,500 for the semester, up to $7,000 for 2 semesters. So it's available for all residents, Quebec residents, Canadians, and international students. So it's funding that we are very pleased to provide for all students. And then the program Field School, like Christian participated, it is more of it's a faculty-led program. So it's a group project, group program led by a Concordia professor. There are individual subjects taught in multiple destinations, and usually they are interdisciplinary. So students from different programs can join the group. It is, as mentioned, taught by a Concordia faculty member, and you will travel and collaborate with the group and the professor at the specific destination. They are culturally immersive experiences, and you are also receiving funding for this program. So the funding will vary depending on the destination and the length of the day, but also it's included in the exchange, in the application for the field school, so you don't have to apply for it separately. Summer schools are offered by Concordia's partner schools, and they are usually between 4 weeks, maybe up to 5 weeks, as Penelope went, and those are hosted really by our partner schools, and you can go and take usually between 3, 6, or maximum 9 credits during the summer months, so usually May, June, July, perhaps until August. And this is an individual program, so you can select from one of the summer schools that we offer the destination that suits you, that interests you, that they offer the type of course that you wish to take, and that you can get credited towards your degree. It might count for an elective, or it might count for a core course. And usually these summer schools are very well organized by partner schools. They make sure that they include cultural activities or some kinds of trips. You'll be Usually it's for students coming all over the world. So you'll be together with the other students and you will make friends also. And these ones are, you'll pay Concordia tuition fee, field schools as well, of course. It's a Concordia course, so you'll be paying the Concordia credit. And for the summer schools, likewise, you'll be paying the credits to Concordia. And sometimes the summer schools might include a little fee for cultural activities or such that might be included in the program. So for now, currently our website, we provide the offer for the 2024 summer, both for the field schools and summer school, but the offer will be updated in January 25. So you will find the new destinations and new schools that will be offered then. And likewise, I just want to mention that the student exchange program, the application will open November 1st. And the deadline is January 15th for fall 25 or winter 26. And we'll be actually happy to then answer any questions after the presentation. Then now I'm going to pass on to my colleague Caroline Eastwood, who oversees our bursaries and MyTax program.
Hi, everyone. And I just want to thank again our wonderful panelists. Such a great job and so great hearing about your experiences. So as Pauliina said, I administer the Quebec Mobility Bursary. That is funding that's made available through the Quebec government to do international activities abroad. It is open to undergraduate and graduate students. It's also open to international students, which I'm not sure everyone is aware of, but as an international student, you can apply. It's awarded for a minimum of 1 month and a maximum of 8 months. We accept applications throughout the year on a rolling basis, and the dates for when the funding results are made available are provided once a month, and the dates are on our website. I should flag, as Pauliina mentioned, that for our exchange program and the field school program and the summer program, the mobility bursary is integrated as part of your research, as part of your application for the program. So you don't need to apply separately for the Quebec Mobility Bursary, but for students who are looking to do research abroad or do fieldwork abroad or other opportunities abroad, you can also apply for the Quebec Mobility Bursary, and that's when it's made available throughout the year and results provided on a rolling basis. You do need to apply before you travel. We recommend 6 to 8 weeks before, and the funding amount is between 1,000 and 8,000 Canadian based on your time abroad. And feel free to come chat with me about it later if you have any questions. I'll be at the MyTax section down here. And speaking about MyTax, Maral did a wonderful job describing his experience with the program. I work on administering that program. So the MyTax Global Link Research Award is a great opportunity to do a short-term research project abroad, to grow your network. As I said, it's short-term, 12 to 24 weeks. It is available to senior undergraduate students if you finished your second year, and graduate students, postdoctoral fellows. The research can be conducted anytime during the year. You work that out with your academic supervisors. So you can do it during the summer if that's a better time for you based on your coursework. The project does need to be co-supervised, so you need a Concordia supervisor as well as a supervisor at the partnering institution abroad. It's a $6,000 award, and the 2024 call for proposals is actually open now until November 12th. If you have any questions, I would advise connecting with your Concordia supervisor if you're in a research-based program or Concordia faculty, but also feel free to come talk to me or Maral if you want to hear about his experience. And there'll be a number of other students at the table as well who have received the MyTax Global Link Research Award. And the eligibility requirements and application process is all available on our website. And now I'm going to invite Maral up to give the final remarks.
Yes, hi everyone. Thank you for the panelists. And as was mentioned, the support that they received through Concordia International team, all of them are experts. And thank you again for mentioning that the support that you received and the application it went all smoothly. What do we do? And we are here in order to help you as Concordia International. We advise on the best opportunities for your academic and personal needs. We offer information sessions, as was mentioned, the pre-departure and definitely before moving, like the pre-departure sessions would provide you with some information about the program. And then before leaving to your destination, we have another session that we give to our students to be well prepared for their programs. We support and guide you through your application process. We prepare you for your travels abroad, online resource for financial planning, for international experiences. And there are, the modules that are on our website, like the risk-aware travel for a smoother international experience. In order to be able to reach Concordia International, so the contacts for general inquiries, international@concordia.ca. For our website, we have the QR code if you can just save, and you will get all the information there that you need. Field schools and summer school abroad, it's me, Maral Abajian. The exchanges to Europe, Africa, and Middle East, Pauliina, Rouleau, my colleague. Exchanges to Americas, Asia, Oceania, United Kingdom, my colleague Christine Archer. MyTex Global Link Research, my colleague Caroline Eastwood. And our office is located at 2080 Mackay Street, Annex X. And thank you for joining us. Thank you for attending the information session today. We would be on our stations, and we invite you to go and pass by each station to be able to provide you with more information that you are really looking for. Thank you for being here.
Okay, everyone, thanks for coming into Fourth Space, and those of you joining us online, thank you also for joining us there. We're going to be closing up the Zoom and the live stream now. Those of you here, stick around, ask some questions. Tables are set up in the space. Those of you online, if you got questions, you should know where to go now because for the presentation. Okay, that's enough from us. Thank you.